Good afternoon. I am Tim McLaughlin here for another Desk Era Thursday weekly webinar. Our current series, we've been working on inventory transactions and different inventory management within Desk Era MRP. I am once again joined by Taylor Otto today. Taylor, why don't you take a minute to introduce yourself and tell us about what we're going to be talking about today?
Yeah, thanks, Tim. Hello, everyone. My name is Taylor Otto, implementation consultant here at Discara. Part of these weekly webinars that we've been running, our current segment has been on inventory management. And like Tim said, we're going to be discussing specifically today inventory transactions, requisitions and purchase orders, what the benefits are, and how that looks in our system. Some of you may be wondering, what is a requisition? So before we get started, a requisition is basically a document that an employee can utilize to request a purchase order to be created for, whether that is products that need to be reordered, restocked, or something simple as office supplies that the company needs to do their day-to-day work.
Absolutely. And today we're going to be talking about how that works within Desk Era and why many of our users are switching to use Desk Era for their requisitions and their procurement process. Taylor, what are some of the ways that people would work through this process before they would switch to our software?
Yeah, so if you're coming into this without any software in place, either you're sending emails saying, hey, we need some of this, or you're putting it on a document or a spreadsheet, or you're simply just creating the purchase order yourself, which does have its challenges, does leave miscommunication out on the table where you could end up ordering too much, too little of a product, or spending money that you shouldn't have. So it is definitely important to have some sort of system in place, which is why we offer that in Discara, and we'll be kind of getting into how that can assist your business in a moment here.
Thank you, Taylor. So we've talked a bit about what that process looks like without using an integrated software where you have those purchase orders you're making manually. Maybe you're sending out an email. Maybe you have a in-house approval process. Now we're going to talk about some of the uses within Desk Era and how that works within an integrated system to where you have that all-in-one within your ERP and MRP software. So first we'll talk a bit about how that works for simplifying your procurement process and how that can be valuable to automate your request process and save time within that process. And you can track and monitor your requisitions to see where they are and which stage within the process they are, if they've been approved or if they've been sent out yet. And you can have an organized and efficient way to manage your purchasing.
Yeah, and it's very important to have a clear, organized, efficient way to manage your purchasing, again, to reduce the risk of ordering too much or too little. Another huge benefit of that is having a standard place, which you could use, for example, if multiple departments are ordering pencils or office supplies or a shirt, kind of putting that all into one place can give that visibility as a whole, instead of creating a lot of little purchase orders for the same product. It could lead to bulk purchasing, which could potentially get you some volume discounts.
And I think that brings us really well into our next point in that one of the values that our users are finding, which is reducing costs. So as we talk about the costs you can save when making bulk orders in that one place, maybe you're getting discounts. We talk about the money and cost saved when you're automating a process that can lead to fewer errors and cost savings from saving those errors and saving time. You're getting better visibility into the total cost of requested items through Desk Era's financial software. And then you're able to utilize data to make smarter and more cost-effective purchase decisions through our planning and portal.
Yeah, absolutely. And next we have enhanced compliance, where you are able to enforce procurement rules and regulations, ensure that all requisitions are tracked and approved in the system, and keep track of purchase documents for better audit and compliance. This gives you a structure of allowing your employees to make those requests, but then also giving someone in that position of power to decide ultimately, hey, do we need this? Do we need all of what you're requesting? And it basically just adds that next step of security of, hey, are we purchasing what we need to purchase? And having that platform to take a look at the data as a whole and decide, okay, yeah, I guess we do need this, or no, we don't need that. But being able to make that decision allows your employees to help out with that process.
Absolutely. And you're able to give different permissions to different people within the system. And maybe you have certain people who can approve that, and you can set up that process however it works best for you. And overall, we just had the ability to have improved visibility into your process there, where you can stay updated on the status of each requisition. You can monitor them on a single dashboard, and you can gain access to the different relevant data to make informed purchasing decisions.
Absolutely, Tim. And so what we're going to do next is we're going to transition into the system and kind of show you that visibility and what that looks like. So as we transition here, this is our requisition screen at Descara. And what you can see right off the bat is the date that this requisition was created, a due date if established. And you're going to notice a couple are in red, which means that if this does go past that due date, you're going to get a nice bright red indicator letting you know that, hey, we need to make a decision on this. Over here, we have the status. So you can see this one here is pending approval. You've got a partially converted requisition, which means maybe they took part of what that requisition request was and converted that into a purchase order. We have a fully converted requisition, which means that we took everything on this requisition, we converted that to a purchase order. And then some that have not been converted yet. And you've got that nice color coordinated indicator of what that status is. And then who requested it. So as you're working with a team, maybe you've got a large team and a lot of people are putting in these requisition requests. You have that paper trail, like we discussed in the benefits there, of who requested it, and I can click into any of these and see what exactly was on that document.
Absolutely. So you have this clear visibility into that process throughout the requisition page and able to see where it came from, where you're at within the process. Taylor, can you show us how to create a new requisition?
Yeah. Yep. So what we're going to do here is anytime you want to create a new requisition, all we would simply do is just add one here. And it gives us a nice open screen here where I can add any of the products that I want to in my list. I can search for a specific product if I'm looking for. I can add multiple items. If I mess up, I can simply just clear all the items out. But it's very simple. I can add items, whatever that item may be. And then I can add how much of these am I requesting? If there's an expected date, I can change that. I can change any of these dates here, the due date, the receive by date. And then I can add a memo as well saying, hey, we are running short on these products. Take a look. Thanks. And so anything that I type here, whoever is going to approve this requisition can see that memo and can see, oh, okay, I know the reason for this. Let's take a look here and see if we need to approve or reject that.
Great. So simple and so easy to build that out. What does the process of creating an approval process? I know we can automate some of this, but what does it look like when you're building out that approval process?
Yeah. So what you can do here is you can set up an approval process. So any of the users you can set up and say, hey, if any of these users create a requisition, I want so-and-so to be the approver for that. We can set up any rules and regulations you want. You can have multiple approvers. You can set it up so multiple people can approve or deny, or you can set it up where you need everyone to sign off on. So maybe you've got 3 people that need to sign off on this requisition before it can be approved and converted to a purchase order. So we have an example here of a pending for approval right here. So I've got a user in my system. I am set up in my demo account as the approver. And so what I can do is I can just simply take a look at this and I can see, okay, we are running low on black shirts and need to restock. I can see all the different shirts that were requested here. I've got all the amounts that they want to create a purchase order for, and I can see a nice memo and who requested it. So I can utilize that data and I can make a decision. Maybe I find like, yeah, we really are running low. That's a great idea. Let's get some more of these shirts. Let's get that approved. Or maybe I want to approve a little bit of it. Maybe I want to approve partial, like, oh, well, we actually do have medium shirts, but we need the rest. Or I can say, you know what, we don't need this at this time. I'm going to reject that. So how I would do that is by simply clicking these three dots. And I have the option here to simply approve or reject. If I want to look at any history, I can look at that history there. So let's say I want to approve this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to approve that document. And you can see here that I approved this right here. All right. So now I can convert this to a PO because I have that approval. So I can click the convert button. And this is where I can check, okay, am I creating a purchase order for everything here, or am I doing partial? All right. For demo purposes, I'll go ahead and just convert everything to a purchase order. And I'm going to select my supplier here. And if I've got a lot of items, I can just choose the same supplier for each one, and I can enter in the price. So if I do $5 per shirt, I've got all of that figured out here. And then I can simply convert to a purchase order. If there's any dates that I want to change, so maybe I want to receive by May 30th, I can change the due date here, and then I can just click convert. And so what happens on this screen is I don't need to leave this screen. I don't need to open up multiple tabs and create a purchase order and then copy what was on that requisition on the purchase order. All of that happens automatically by simply going through this process of converting the requisition.
Very nice. Thank you, Taylor. So we've seen our requisition dashboard. We've created a new dashboard or a new requisition. We've talked a bit about the approval process. We've seen how approving works. We've converted that into a purchase order. We've talked about this a few times in our past webinars, but why don't we go ahead and take a quick look at how receiving goods works within the system?
Yeah, absolutely. So we're going to go ahead and go into our purchase orders now. And I can see right here, the shirts that I approved showed up right here. So I've got my purchase order date, my due date, and the total amount. All of this was created for me. So I can go ahead and click edit. Again, all this information is here. I didn't need to recreate this. So now I can go ahead again. I can see my different statuses here: partial, not received, and received. Received means that I've received all of these goods on this purchase order. Not received means that I have not received anything against that purchase order. And then partial means that I've received part of the goods. A really common practice in various businesses is it's very common to not receive all of your items on a purchase order in bulk. Okay. A lot of the times there are partial shipments. So it is really crucial to track that. Okay, what products have I received? What products do I have left to receive? Very important to ensure that you're not getting shorted any products or paying too much. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and convert this purchase order that I've created, and I am going to receive the items in. And I can decide here, okay, I got my shipment. What am I going to be doing now? Did I receive all of my shirts? Did I receive some of them? Maybe I only received small and medium, but I'm waiting on extra small, large, and extra large. I can say that I've received these 50 items here. And you're going to notice that the status changes from not received to partial. All right. So right now in the system, it's tracking what shirts I actually received. Now, maybe it's 3 weeks later and I receive the rest of the goods in the against the purchase order. You're going to notice that the shirts that I've already received are no longer showing up. So the system's going to prevent you from accidentally accepting goods against a purchase order twice. It's not going to let you do that. So I know that I have 50 black XL, 50 black large, and 50 black extra small shirts to receive in. And let's say I receive all of them. I can go ahead and simply click receive, and I'm going to notice that my partial status now changes to received. So we saw all the way through of getting the requisition, approving the requisition, converting that to a purchase order, and then ultimately receiving those goods in 2 different chunks.
There we go. Thank you so much, Taylor. It's been great looking at the way that process works within easy to use dashboards, easy to understand information. I think that's about going to wrap it up for us this week. Thanks everybody for watching today. We are happy to share more information. You can find me, Tim McLaughlin, here on LinkedIn, or tim.mclaughlin@deskera.com. Taylor Otto can be found here on LinkedIn as well, taylor.otto@deskera.com. We'll be continuing this weekly webinar series. Next week, we'll be talking about cycle counts. We'll hope to see you there. Taylor, anything else you'd like to add?
Yeah, just to echo what Tim said, if you are interested in learning more, please reach out to us, whether that is via email or LinkedIn. We would love to hear from you. If it's anything that you saw today that you want to learn more about or go a little bit more in depth on, or maybe something we didn't cover in today's webinars or something you've seen in a past webinar, please reach out. We'd love to hear from you.
Okay. Thank you, everyone.